Tune into the 2019 Truly Daebak Awards from January 21st to the 25th and the Fans' Choice Awards live on January 26th. Watch as we crown the best in K-pop from 2018, and be sure to cast your vote by using the link in the description below.
Okay. Topic 3 is going to be Kai and Jennie dating. Kai from EXO and Jennie from Blackpink are dating, and that's a news story that Andrew is going to talk about.
So basically, I just want to break down. I'll just break it down for people that haven't heard,
news.
but I have no idea who hasn't friggin' heard this news story, in all honesty. But, and then I guess go into our thoughts. So, as the title entails, we have confirmation that EXO's Kai and Blackpink's Jennie are indeed dating. So I just remember it being such a whirlwind on New Year's Eve when the rumors first broke. Like, our Discord just went ape shit just because we were just like, what? Like, it was just like the most insane news story. And at first there was no confirmation from either SM Entertainment or YG Entertainment on the news, but it was finally SM who said yes. They confirmed that Kai and Jennie were indeed dating and that they love each other very much or something like that. I don't remember. I remember laughing at the wording that they used. It was very interesting. So yeah, it was once it was officially confirmed, I guess that's when sort of the internet hit peak like hysteria over this story. I feel like YG took a lot longer to confirm or deny the story just because relatively speaking, Blackpink is new. I mean, Blackpink was what, like 2016? Yeah,
2016, I think.
2016 when they started. So they've been around for like what, like a little under 3 years, maybe like 2.5, like not even 2.5 years in all honesty. So yeah, they're relatively new, and most labels have dating bans. So I'm sure there's probably they had some explaining to do, or they had to talk to Jennie, or just sort of maybe get the full story before they ever confirmed the story. This isn't the first idol that Kai has been publicly linked with. He previously dated Crystal before she got sent to the Shadow Realm by SM Entertainment. And apparently, okay, so this is the interesting part for me. They had hints of their relationship, just very secret. Again, I feel it in a way, just because if you're in a relationship and you can't tell anyone, you just still want to put those like tiny little hints, and just on Instagram or social media or whatever. So, the like internet detectives or Twitter detectives discovered that on both Kai and Jennie's Instagrams, they posted pictures in front of the Eiffel Tower, like roughly around the same time, and nobody ever made the connection between that until now. So that was just a very interesting sort of wrinkle in this story. And this story was actually first broken by Dispatch in Korea, and that's never a good thing because, yeah, the reality of it is basically Dispatch broke the story because they had like photographic evidence, and they had like this whole map of like places where Kai and Jennie were seen together. So like they had like this whole sort of like, I don't know, diorama of like confirming that or of evidence that they were dating each other. And there were, this is like straight up rumors. I don't know if there's any confirmation for it necessarily, but there were rumors going around saying that, oh, they had more news to break, and that they were like holding entertainment companies like hostage for shush money. Like they had
Really?
more relationship news to break, but they like, I mean, that kind of is how a lot of tabloids work, in all honesty, where like they say, I have this big story, you have to pay me a lump sum of money so that I don't leak this to the press. But which in itself isn't necessarily bad. It's just the way Dispatch goes about things is kind of like just really scummy in that sort of way. So with that being said, I just wanted general thoughts on the relationship, or just like how the story or news broke, or Dispatch, or so. Nate, we can start with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. It's hard for me because like this side of K-pop, I really don't care about at all. Like the like paparazzi tabloid like drama BS type stuff. But it's part of the industry, so like obviously we're gonna talk about it occasionally. But yeah, I don't know. To me, it's just like, let them do what the hell they want. They're adults. Like, they can date. Like, they're not objects. They're not things that other people should control completely. So if they're dating, that's good for them. I think overall, I think it's a good thing. I think it doesn't seem like the fan reaction to this has been too crazy.
Yeah, which is surprising.
It's definitely, in the past, there's definitely been a lot of problems with that. I remember, I think in Discord or something, or maybe our chat, we talked about with Taeyeon
and Baekhyun.
And Baekhyun. Yeah, just that, like, completely going crazy when that came out that they were dating. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal overall. So that's good. And yeah, I just think it's like I never understood the idea of like obsessing over their personal lives, which we don't do really, but it's obviously comes with the age of the fandom.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what happens. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think I hope it doesn't come back to bite them in the ass that it came out. But yeah, I think overall that, yeah, they should be able to date. They should be fine. Like, they're human beings. That's what happens.
And I mean, if they didn't break the news, like, everyone knows that they're dating anyway, or like idols are dating anyway. So it's not a complete shock.
Yeah, if you're living in denial that these people are waiting and not in love or not dating people because they want to be with you, the fan, then you're ridiculous. Like, that's not how this works. They're human beings. That's
some pipe dream shit right there.
Yeah.
Cooper, Kai is your bias, right? In EXO, correct?
He is one of my biases.
Okay, so your thoughts. What about Blackpink? Who's your bias?
My bias is Jisoo.
Okay, so then
yeah.
On that front, you have no investment as much, but thoughts.
So yeah, like, my first reaction was like, whoa, this is insane. But after like a day, I'm like, cool. And I think it's because of how crazy the Hyuna Edon debacle was, like, earlier in 2018. That lasted months, it seemed like. And then, like you were saying, the reaction to this has basically been at least 90%, from what I've seen, positive, or like, whatever, do what you want. Which is really good to see, considering I wasn't around for like the earlier ones, of course, like you were mentioning. But yeah, I think maybe it could be because the older ones were in SM, like Baekhyun, Taeyeon, Kai, and
I don't think
I think. Oh, go ahead, Andrew.
I don't think there's ever been an SMYG confirmed relationship ever before. That's like, this is straight up some like Romeo and Juliet type stuff, with how like at opposite ends both companies are, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think the reason the reaction has been so muted. Well, I think one, like, Hyuna Edon was ridiculous because of the whole, it was them versus Cube, their own entertainment company, and they had to leave, and like Cube was denying it, and they were like, no, shut up, Cube, you're wrong. Like, where this was like both SM and YG. SM was like, yeah, this is happening, and YG a few days later was like, we agree with what SM said, or whatever. They didn't even make a real comment. They just said they're the same as SM or whatever. But I think this, compared to Taeyeon, the big thing is EXO that was like 2014, I think.
Yeah, 2014.
And like EXO was a lot newer, and their fans were a lot younger. Where now I feel like EXO's fans overall are older because they've been around for a while. Mm-hmm. Like, the younger K-pop fans, I feel like, aren't as invested in EXO. So, and it sucks to say, but usually girl group fans don't care about dating scandals nearly as much as guy group fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, Blackpink fans don't really care that Jennie's dating someone. But yeah, I think because EXO, it's, like I said, it's 4 years later. I think the fandom's just older and more mature and can understand this type of thing more than they could back in 2014. So I think that's why it hasn't really been a big deal.
Yeah.
As for my thoughts, yeah, as Cooper mentioned, I feel like Hyuna and Edon sort of opened the floodgates in a way for this thing to maybe not be as controversial. Just because, yeah, Hyun and Edon basically just like took all the fire out of dating scandals or dating rumors, just because I think nothing's ever going to top that. Essentially, again, I do find it interesting that again it's SM and YG like who are polar opposites, and usually it's like YG and YG dating, like, oh, Daragon, it was like a thing for the longest time, or obviously between Taeyeon and Baekhyun, or Kai and Crystal. That sort of thing where it's the first time I've seen like a high profile relationship between two artists from the big three. So I mean, you could fact check me on whether or not this has been something like this has officially happened before, but I mean, to my knowledge, it never has. At least in the modern era of K-pop. So it's a very interesting story, definitely. And it's something that's not surprising because one, Kai obviously has dated before, so it's not surprising that he'd date again. And two, Jennie grew up in New Zealand, so it's not like she feels too much, or she feels the pressure of, oh my god, I'm an idol, I can't date. Like, I feel like that's the nice thing about introducing or having people that grew up abroad, that they don't necessarily feel pressured or confined to Korea's standards when it comes to being an idol in that sort of way. And I feel like that's I'd say that's one of the good things about Blackpink, is that they break the mold in that sort of way by having a lot of people who aren't so entrenched in Korean culture that that they fall down. And it's not surprising that Jennie's like what, she's in her 20s already. It's like, how would you, exactly. if you're in your 20s and you're not dating, there's something wrong. So me included. Yeah, it's just a normal fact of life at that age. So I guess that's sort of why it's not as controversial in that sort of way. I do kind of feel maybe a bit scared, just because I feel like XOLs are still kind of crazy. I say this as an XOL myself, so I am a bit scared of Jennie maybe getting backlash about this whole dating thing. But I feel like overall, maybe the biggest contributor of as to why people just like don't give a shit or just aren't like flipping out over this is, I feel like both EXO and Blackpink have overwhelmingly like enormous international fandoms, as opposed to groups where the majority of their fan base lies within Korea. Because if it was that was the case, I feel like there would be more of an outrage over it, where sort of like what happened with Edon from Pentagon, because I feel like Pentagon is a more popular group in Korea than they are internationally. I mean, I don't really have much to say on like evidence about that, but it definitely seems like until recently, maybe with the release of Shine, they definitely fell more on the radar in Korea. But like people were canceling like fan meets and that sort of thing, because I feel like, again, the larger the Korean fan base is, or the larger the Korean fan base makes up the entire fan base, I feel like that's when you're gonna get more of those ridiculous situations. Whereas again, now EXO fans are mostly older, Blackpink fans are kind of younger, but again, most of them come from here in America or from other parts of the world other than Korea. So the concept of a dating scandal isn't as offensive to them, which is nice. And I hope this situation sort of sets an example of how, or of like maybe just try and normalize this more than it is now. And I don't think we'll ever get full normalization, because I feel like there will always be hardcore fans that are like, no, you're never allowed to date anyone except for me. And that's just the fact of like idol culture, or just pop culture just in general, where people like literally worship idols. So yeah, I think they make a cute ass couple, like just in general. Like I think they make a really good couple, and I'm surprised. I'm not shocked that they're dating each other. I hope that they're allowed to interact with each other like at public events or whatever, because I feel like they might SM and YG might go like the complete opposite ways. Like you're not allowed to touch each other, you're not allowed to look eyes at each other.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, or like I could definitely see that they're like, hey, we're gonna let you date, but like keep it private, and like
keep it out of the,
don't show it at public events and stuff.
Oh yeah. and yeah, maybe for that's the thing. That's probably best for their business because they don't want to piss off the fans that are like, oh my god, I want to be with Jennie and that sort of thing. Like if they see that like at a concert, I feel like it would set them off to a bit too much. So that's my hope. But and just one final word on Dispatch. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I've had my problems with Dispatch before with like what they did with friggin' Winner and like it was like a pedophilia scandal or something like that, or
yeah, they're
some stupid link
know,
or
it's weird. They've really weird rules in terms of
what qualifies
like putting stuff out and quality and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, my gripes are long withstanding when it comes to Dispatch. So yeah, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with breaking dating news if it sort of comes into your attention, just because it is an interesting story. It's just the way they went about it was incredibly wrong. Like violating their privacy in this sort of way is just really rude. And I know it's a business, obviously. They're making a lot of money off of this, but I think there's a way to sort of address these idol dating topics. Ideally, in an ideal world, it'd be the companies themselves announcing it first. It wouldn't be leaked by publications such as Dispatch. But I mean, if you're gonna do it, I mean, there's definitely a way you could do it. Like you could say like, oh, unnamed source or unnamed source says such and such and such. I mean, and it'll be up to the companies themselves to confirm or deny it. But I feel like stalking them and getting photos of them and just like making like a diagrams of like where they were together and that sort of thing is just it's way too far.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that wraps up the thoughts. I mean, unless you guys have anything else to say, just as a general.
Cooper, you got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, screw Dispatch just in general.
Yeah, fuck Dispatch. You can curse on the show, Cooper.
just their photographers are pretty good though, so just close down.
It's weird because Dispatch has like good photo shoots, but then they do this weird tabloidy shit.
Yeah, it really undermines their name. So Nate, any closing thoughts?
Yeah,
or Cooper, you can continue.
Finish up.
I just think it's weird that it seems like Dispatch and these companies would hate each other, yet they have all these partnerships with hundreds of companies still, even though like they leak stuff like that hurts your groups and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like two different sides of this two completely different sides of this company.
Yeah,
like one that's completely legitimate that does all these like professional photo shoots that are like official and stuff, and then this other side that's like just paparazzis and tabloid that's running around stalking idols.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is don't stalk idols. But I'm sure people still
let them date in peace.
Let them date. Let them date. I don't know. I was gonna make a let them eat cake joke, but it didn't work.
Eat dates. The dates are food.
Oh yeah, dates are a food, but I've never had dates before.
Too late for that one.
I've never tried dates before.
That's because they're like old people food, I think.
Yeah, they are old
Isn't
people.
Isn't it like they're known like 80-year-old people eat dates? I don't know.
Is it some type of like nut? Peanut?
I apologize
Chestnut?
if I offended you if you eat dates.
If you eat dates, if you eat dates, please let us know in the comments.
Comment 69 in the comments.
Boa is huge in Japan, so
yeah,
it makes sense for this to be a Japanese single for sure.
Only Boa could make me like a Tropical House song. Like this is probably like one of my favorite Tropical House songs I've heard all year, which isn't saying
me too,
much.
Actually,
which isn't saying much because I really don't like all too many, but like it's excellent. The choreography is amazing.